What if I told you there was a way that you could stop anxiety and overthinking? Hi guys, my name's Maz Delasana and I'm the founder of the Phoenix Rising Collective. I'm a mindset coach and the author of the book I Deserve Better. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can stop anxiety and stop overthinking. And if you stay right to the end of this video, I do have a little freebie that will help you with some more mindset hacks. If you're anything like how I have been, sometimes things can happen in life where you're wondering, what if this happens? What if this goes wrong? What if I do this and it goes the other way? Or what if this person hurts me? Or what if I make the wrong choice? And when you start getting into that kind of frame of thinking, you tend to spiral and it just gets worse. In today's video, I want to be able to discuss ways and share some tips that you can do to stop that overthinking and put your mind and soul at ease. If you find today's video useful, I would really appreciate a big thumbs up. It does help my little YouTube channel as it is super new. And if you want to see more of this kind of content where I share tips, tricks, mindset hacks, and my life lessons on personal development, spirituality, and the law of attraction, hit the big red button down below so you can keep up to date, and don't forget to hit the little bell so you get notified every time I do a new upload. I'm not gonna lie guys, I have been a big culprit of it and my mind can play games on me, and I have found some ways to help bring me back down to earth, ground myself, and slow down on that overthinking and creating more anxiety for myself. And I just want to be able to share that with you guys. So if you find your mind can run wild and go crazy at times, this may help you too. So today I'm going to share 4 tips that has helped me switch my mindset and my perspective to help ease any anxiety and stop that overthinking that is just really not serving any justice. So tip number 1, if things aren't working the way you want them to, or maybe you're unsure of how things are going to pan out, I would like you to stop for a moment, and before starting on that journey of starting to overthink, overanalyze, wondering what could go wrong and all the what ifs and should have, could haves and all of that, instead, when things aren't working exactly as smoothly as you like, stop and ask yourself this one question. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? I don't believe in coincidences, and everything good or bad does really happen for a reason. It's really just up to us on how we want to look at the situation, and if we want to use that to learn from it, grow from it, or let it get the best of us. Sometimes when things aren't going right, maybe it is teaching you how to not be so reactive, for example, and it's giving you a test to see if you can stop, breathe, and not react straight away out of emotions. The majority of the times, if we don't stop to think before we act or react, we could say, do, or act in a way we don't really mean, and it could actually be detrimental and cause more harm than good. So maybe when things like this happen, it might be a chance for you to learn and practice not to react. Take a deep breath and reanalyze, reassess the situation, and instead think, if I were the best version of me, how would they react? How would the best version of me deal with the situation? Stop, pause, and think, and then act in a way that is aligned with your higher self. Or sometimes you might find it might just be a life's way of teaching you how to be more patient. Sometimes we want instant gratitude and we want things to work out how we want, the way we want, when we want. And sometimes life doesn't work that way. Sometimes it's a slow burn. Sometimes things come eventually. Sometimes things don't play out exactly the way it should. But later you do look back and understand when things are falling apart, the majority of the times it was actually coming together, teaching you lessons along the way. Tip number 2, a question I'd like you to ask yourself is, if this hadn't happened, I wouldn't have ... or I wouldn't have learnt ... This change of perspective can really bring things back down to earth slow that anxiety, slow that crazy mind of yours going out of control, and bring things back to reality and just ground your soul. Look at things from a bird's eye point of view rather than from the emotional state that you're in currently and how it's affecting you. Look at it from the bigger picture. When things don't work out the way you want or exactly the way you plan, if you look back to anything that has not worked out that way and you look back, really think, like, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have achieved, or I wouldn't have learnt this lesson, or I wouldn't have this right now. I almost guarantee you everything that didn't work out in your life so far, if you ask yourself these questions, there is something beautiful that has come out of that. Tip number 3, and this goes along with the last 2 tips that I said, but always believe that everything is always working out for you. Good or bad, everything that causes pain or struggle, something good can be rebirthed from that. It teaches you strength. It forces you to level up. It forces you to look inside of you and make changes that are necessary for your growth. If you look back at anything that has ever hurt or not played out the way you wanted to, or broke your heart, or any kind of loss or struggle, think about later what you gained from that. And now that you are aware and you know that, that's how life has been playing out, moving to the present moment now, trust that when things don't go to plan and things aren't going your way and they're going a little bit haywire, just learn to trust that everything is always working out for you, even if you don't see it at the time. And my last tip, tip number 4, last tip for the day, again ties in with everything that I've just said, but realize that everything is always happen for the greater good and the highest purpose. Again, if you look back at everything that has happened in your life, it may not have made sense then, but looking back at it then and looking at it now, doesn't it not make sense why things had to happen? Sometimes you lose that job that you unexpectedly, and it forces you to now look at something else that is more aligned to you, or forces you to start your own business, or forces you to go after a job you're more passionate in or more suited for. And if you hadn't lost that job, you would have just stayed in that comfort zone. And if you really think about it, you probably really didn't like that job anyway. Maybe it was a toxic environment. Maybe it was killing your soul. Maybe you were just getting complacent and you had so much more potential that was not being utilized. Or sometimes people get taken out of our lives and we think they're going to be there forever. But majority of the time, the universe always has our back. Not majority of the time, all the time. The universe always has your back. Maybe that person was removed from your life because it wasn't serving purpose to your own growth and well-being, and maybe you weren't serving purpose to theirs, so the universe had to break that connection apart so you could both live your lives the way that your higher selves are calling and for the greater good. Sometimes you might even find connections that get torn apart eventually come back together when the lessons have been learned, and it took being apart to learn and realize that, because staying together was not going to allow for that growth or change or that transformation. Regardless what it is, just keep it in the back of your mind and have faith, knowing that good or bad, up or down, loss, struggle, pain, happiness, the universe always has our back, and everything is always working out in divine timing, and everything is working out in the highest good. I hope this video helped you today, guys. They're just some little mindset tips and mindset hacks that I myself try to practice as well and have come to learn. I still practice it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not completely perfect. And at times, sometimes you're like, oh my God, why is this happening? I can't handle this or whatnot. But once you get into that, if you can be aware and know when you are falling off track, that is a massive, massive big step, because you can now pull yourself back from that situation, assess, analyze, reevaluate, and look at things from the outside in, instead of looking at it from that state of being in that emotional turmoil and victimizing yourself in whatever situation it is. If you want to dig deeper into some mindset tips and hacks and perspective switches, I have created a free PDF where it can show you thoughts that you may have that are blocking you from getting that abundance. Completely free. I've linked it down below in the description. And if you would like to work with me one-on-one, I do help with mindset coaching, and I help people remove subconscious blocks, limiting beliefs, and all of the thoughts and behaviors that aren't serving us. And want some guidance on that, I've linked my coaching link down below. Hit me up. We can have a chat or just send me an email if you've got any questions. Until next time, guys.